from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
It's on the way. Our weather team is tracking a major storm heading for the valley that will hammer the area with rain and then snow. If you have travel plans in the Northern Valley or western North Dakota between Sunday and Tuesday, you may want to plan ahead. Let's go right to Hutch for the very latest on this. Hutch?
All right, thanks so much, Andrea. As we head through the weekend, you saw rain in our southern counties begins on Sunday, and way up north and out west, the snow will already be taking hold by Sunday night. Snow will stick around the region as we go through the day into Tuesday as well. Now, the areas with the most prolonged snow will be from the Grand Forks area through the Devil's Lake Basin and slicing down into south central North Dakota and points west, where numerous areas will see between 6, maybe 12 inches of snow and some wind with it as well. Fargo sits right on the line because there's going to be some warm air with this system. But here's the basic timeline you need to know. Sunday, late, rain and sleet south could make things a little slushy or slippery. Snow north throughout the day into Monday morning. By Monday midday, most of us will be seeing snow heavy at times. A concern for travelers and livestock as we go through the day Monday and into Tuesday as the storm exits. But for tonight, look at that. Beautiful weather out there. A warm front has pushed through. That's causing a few Friday flakes from Grand Forks into Lakes Country. This will continue to progress north and eastward as we go through our Friday evening. A mild Saturday, Andrea, but Sunday things get started. I'll have hour-by-hour details, and there are some changes that will happen to the forecast as we go through the period, thanks to the fact that this storm system hasn't even hit the west coast yet. So we'll keep you updated and have full details here in just a few more minutes.
Okay, thanks, Hutch. And make sure you have the Valley News Live Storm Team weather app so that you can keep up with the weather anytime, anywhere. You'll get the latest forecasts and conditions so that you can plan your day. Just search VNL Weather in the App Store and download it for free. Manslaughter charges have been filed against a man involved in a fatal car crash that killed a 2-year-old boy. Clay County Attorney Brian Melton tells Valley News Live the charges were filed today against Jeremy Sagvold of Sabin. He could face up to 20 years in prison if convicted. The crash happened in January at the intersection of 34th Street and Highway 10 East in Moorhead. Police say 2-year-old Zayden Engen Ness was in a vehicle with his parents when they were rear-ended by a pickup driven by Sagvold. Zayden was taken to the hospital for treatment but died as a result of his injuries. Developing this evening from the campus of the University of North Dakota in Grand Forks, campus police served a search warrant at the Phi Delta Theta fraternity house involving allegations of embezzlement by the house treasurer. Authorities say they arrested 23-year-old Chase Johnson and took him to the Grand Forks County Correctional Center. He has been charged with theft of property, a Class B felony. The amount allegedly stolen was between $10,000 and $50,000. Johnson is also the treasurer of the UND student body. Police say the investigation is ongoing. A Fargo man has been arrested, considered a suspect in the death of a man at an apartment building. 29-year-old Daniel Habiger called police early this morning to let them know that he was involved in a fight that led to another man's death. Fargo police say close to 6:30 this morning, they were called to an apartment complex at the corner of 7th Avenue and 10th Street North in Fargo. Officials are still investigating the scene to gather evidence and determine the identity of the victim. Neighbors were shocked when they saw police all over the streets outside their homes this morning, but were not surprised when they realized which building they were surrounding. Tonight on Valley News Live at 9 on Fargo CW and Valley News Live at 10, we dig into the number of incidents that have happened at that complex. We now know the name of a man involved in an hour-long standoff with police in West Fargo. 51-year-old Sergio Hidalgo Jr. of West Fargo was arrested and is being held in the Cass County Jail on charges of gross sexual imposition. Yesterday morning, police responded to the 100 block of 12th Street East on a report of a suicidal man with a weapon. After about an hour-long standoff, police say Hidalgo eventually came out of the home unarmed. A woman who was home at the time was able to get out. It's Friday. Time to take a look at this week's Valley's Most Wanted. Police say 25-year-old Leonard DeLorme Jr. is wanted for a probation violation on a felony charge of unlawful entry into a vehicle, forgery, and theft of property. His picture is right there on your screen. You can call your local law enforcement if you have any information on DeLorme Jr. A registered sex offender is making Barnes County his home, and the Sheriff's Department wants you to know. Devin Allen Odegaard will be residing at 205 5th Avenue in Litchville, North Dakota. Odegaard was convicted in Clay County for criminal sexual conduct in 2010. His victims were 14 and 15-year-old girls and were his friends. The man found dead during the Eel Pout Festival in Walker, Minnesota, has been identified as 21-year-old Samuel Shuley of Bemidji. Police say Shuley was found unresponsive Sunday morning on Leech Lake during the festival. Police are not releasing any more information at this time. A Minnesota man will spend life in prison after pleading guilty to sexually assaulting and murdering a 5-year-old girl in 2016. Zachary Anderson was sentenced in court today to first-degree murder and first-degree criminal sexual conduct. Investigators say 5-year-old Elena Ertl was kidnapped from her home in Watkins, about 70 miles northwest of Minneapolis, in 2016. Anderson was later arrested in Cass County, Minnesota, after Ertl's body was found submerged and covered with debris near a cabin. Following the guilty plea, Anderson was immediately sentenced to serve the Minnesota mandatory of life in prison. Several Ertl family members addressed the court and delivered victim impact statements during the sentencing. Parents of the Richfield, Minnesota 6-year-old girl injured in a crash earlier this week are now mourning the loss of their child. The girl, Jordan Owens, was in critical condition following an accident involving the car she was riding in and a Metro Transit bus. According to the report, Owens' father hit the bus around 7:30 Monday morning at an intersection in Richfield, causing their vehicle to careen into another Metro bus. Owens' siblings were also injured in the crash, but were listed in satisfactory condition. The Reverend Billy Graham was laid to rest today. A funeral service was held at the Billy Graham Library in Charlotte, North Carolina. Some 2,300 invited guests filled a huge tent to honor the man known by many as America's pastor. Dignitaries from around the world, including President Donald Trump and Vice President Mike Pence, also attended. The service included performances by musicians who shared the stage with Graham at his crusades.
My father was not God, but he showed me what God was like that day. When we come to God with our sin, our brokenness, our failure, our pain and our hurt, God says, welcome home. And that invitation is open for you.
Graham died on February 21st at the age of 99. He will be buried next to his wife on the library grounds. Thanks to your donations, plenty of kids in this area will be able to take some awesome trips with their families. We'll tell you how many miles were raised for Make-A-Wish later on Valley News Live at 6. Up next, education leaders in North Dakota are looking at how to better protect students in rural schools.